Hi Scorpio, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your excuse me, general messages for November 1st to the 7th. Let's get right into things. We finally have Mercury coming out of retrograde on Tuesday, but on the 3rd, on election day, but it's not going to really unravel himself. I don't see it happening because of the Saturn square for like another, I'm going to say 2 weeks, but I think on like the 7th with the moon in Leo, we're going to start to feel a little more fun, a little, lighter, things starting to progress forward, but it's going to be an emotional week. We go from Sunday, the moon's going to be in Taurus, nice and earthy. We're going to be like, whatever will be kind of thing, right? But then by Monday, the moon's going to be in Gemini, and that's like a little frenetic energy, a little kind of like scattered, very thinking and feeling one way one moment and then completely different the next moment, the Gemini. And then Gemini is also ruled by Mercury. And Mercury's going to be in the process of going direct, which is a very powerful energy. So definitely going to be weird like Monday into Tuesday. But then by Thursday, we have the moon in Cancer, very emotional, worried about security and foundation, but feeling very loving and wanting to just like hang at home and be cuddly and all of that. And then by Saturday, we have that fiery Leo energy where it's like, come on, let's go have a good time. Let's fall in love. Let's play with our kids, anything having to do with enjoying children, enjoying romance, falling in love, the act of sex, the act of creativity, coming up with some awesome brainstorming having to do with something to do with work, anything like that. So definitely gets better as the week goes on. Oh, temptation, Scorpio. So yeah, when we get this energy, it means that your life right now is full of temptations, and right now you're being asked to choose the higher path. It's like you have to look at your need to prove that you're worthy and important, because it's clouding your true purpose and tempting you to make potentially to make a wrong decision right now. So become aware of what's happening in your life right now. Are you feeling bored in a relationship and you're looking for something outside of your partnership instead of being honest and working on the challenges that you might be experiencing in it? Maybe moving on or doing the work that's necessary, however it falls. Maybe there's a work opportunity that's tempting you to act without integrity in order to get ahead. Some of you might be dealing with that. Or are you using money as an excuse to not follow your heart? This energy can really push you to focus on the bigger picture here. Be really honest with yourself and take the higher path. Because something much better than what's going on with you right now is like right there, but you just have to make sure you keep yourself open to it and try not to make any sort of decisions that, for lack of a better term, you can end up shooting yourself in the foot, later on, having to do with, again, that could have to do with relationship, family connection, a work opportunity, anything like that. So let's get right into things. So I'm going to be doing a past, present, future, and past, present, future, and final outcome energy. And then after that, I'm going to be pulling some love oracles with Lenormand for love. And the reason I do more love at the end, guys, is because I overwhelmingly get more requests for that. That's just the reality of that. So just to address that for a moment. And I'm not going to be going quite as long with the readings this week because I'm up to my eyeballs in grading midterms, and I just don't have as much time this particular week. When I have the extra time, I always do give it to you guys. Okay, let's get right into it. Okay, we have the Hangman to start. So I'm going to be pulling the layered reading. Like I've been doing. Just give more messages that way, Okay, so it's the final outcome. Okay, this will be for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You do want to check your other signs. Remember, these messages are general. Try not to make them fit if they don't fit, Might just not be your reading this time. That's okay. Okay. So starting out with the Fabulous Emperor and the Hangman. Okay, so the Emperor this is the energy of leadership. The Emperor is Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars. This is, come on, let's go, strategic planning. It's also an energy of respect, of really wanting to feeling very passionate about getting going on something. So Scorpio, this could be you in a relationship. If you're single, this could indicate you meeting somebody new. That is a fabulous energy. That is very, if you're single, this energy would be like just very faithful. They might not have all the answers, but they're very faithful. We have that working with the Hangman. So for those of you who, if this has to do with relationship and you're just meeting somebody, you can be very confused. If you are the Emperor energy and you're starting your own business, or you're taking the bull by the horns, having to do with some sort of opportunity, there is an element of confusion that's attached to it, right? It's like pressing the pause button, but not for nothing. You're pressing the pause button so that you can gain some sort of wisdom through gaining a different perspective about a situation. This is what I see is happening in your recent past. So I'm really wanting to move forward in something, but there was this need to gain a new perspective having to do with either that relationship, that opportunity, maybe looking at it in a different way, saying, okay, you know what, it hasn't been working this way. You guys know what I always say, if you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got. Maybe I need to look at it, this other way. And we have the High Priestess working with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, so the Three of Pentacles in reverse tells me like that there was, something going on in your life where you did not feel very, very supported. There was no like team effort. There was no support. This could have to do with a lot of like office politics too, if this applies to work, gossip within the family kind of thing. But also somebody you could have been dealing with somebody who was not willing to put the work into something, right? Because this is a Mars and Capricorn energy, right? So Mars is all about, it's the warrior planet. It's about, fighting and fighting in a good way, but fighting for the future, having a fresh path, this new perspective, putting the work in, right? When it's hanging out with Capricorn. And in the reverse, this could be like, okay, I feel like either you felt like somebody did not want to grow with you or build something with you, or you were not showing up to do the building as well. When we have the High Priestess energy here, which is about secrets and mystery and intuition and really trusting yourself. The High Priestess is associated with the moon, though, just so that you know, as I always say with the moon, you always want to keep 1 foot grounded in reality, because the moon is where, remember, what is the rune rule? What is the rune rule? Listen to me. Mercury, chart ruler, yep, okay. What is the moon rule? It rules Cancer. Cancer is that 4th house. And what do we say about the 4th house? It's the stories that we tell ourselves. So you do want to just be careful of that, right? That, because there's nobody internal within us, right, to check us and say, oh, you know what, maybe that's a little too subjective the way you're looking at that situation, that relationship, that circumstance at work, right? So it's just a little heads up. But the thing is, it's going to be putting you in this space where you're feeling very unsupported. Now, for some of you, this might not even be out in the 3D where you're tapping into your High Priestess energy and you are vibing it big time, that you are not getting the support that you want and need. That this, somebody could be even doing some very sloppy work if this has to do with career. And they're trying to get credit for something that maybe was yours, your idea. It could be that kind of thing. Sloppy work can also show up, though, in relationships where somebody is just not making very good decisions. And you tapping into your High Priestess saying, you know what, my intuition is telling me this is really not a very good thing for me to continue in. That could certainly have been it. But we have this idea of confusion, right? Again, because, we get the Hangman. The Hangman is just all about, it's Neptune. Neptune is the 12th house energy. I can't really see things very clearly. So you're coming from a space, I feel like, of, you didn't have a lot of clarity out in the 3D, but you were really tapping into your intuition, is what I'm seeing here. Now, in the present, we have the 6 of Wands working with the 2 of Cups, 6 of Swords, death and rebirth. All right, six of Wands, you're very focused on the success of something. There's no question. This is about recognition, good news, just being successful in that relationship, being focused on being successful in work, having a really solid friendship, rectifying that situation within a family. Then we have that working with the 2 of Cups energy. This is beautiful. If it has to do with a relationship, this does indicate romantic love, partnership, a proposal of some kind, marriage, let's have a baby, let's move in together, let's bring this to the next level, whatever it is. If it doesn't have to do with a relationship and has to do with career, this could be let's go into business together, or this could even be you coming to terms and an agreement with people at work that things are going to be done in a different way. Some sort of proposal that you're putting out there gets accepted, okay? So very focused on success, focused on a new approach to doing something if it has to do with work. And for many of you, that means that you need to transition away from what it is that you're doing. Some of you may be in a space of finding that you need to relocate for work, or you need to move for work. So this is welcoming in a new cycle, right? Because when we have the death and the rebirth energy, this is all about a necessary ending to incite a brand new beginning. It doesn't have to be negative, even though it looks scary. It's you guys, right? It's Scorpio, right? So this is all about that, right? Big changes, endings, time to move on, time to transform yourself. So for some of you, you might be leaving the way you were going to be doing a certain project. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. I'm just thinking about some of my Scorpio clients. Absolutely, right? Like leaving certain things in order to do things differently, having to do with work. I know a lot of people who would resonate with this as far as work goes. As far as relationship goes, though, this could also be indicative of the fact that you need to transform and change the way that you guys were doing relationship. So if you guys have been together for a long time, you're in like a situation where you guys are not going to be ending things. This tells me that you're definitely in a situation, you've been in a situation where there was some sort of cycle that needed to end. Something needed to transition away, or within the relationship, having nothing to do with your actual relationship, but your physical space, you reaching a point where you actually have to physically move away, where there's this actual ending to living where you were, and you need to actually move on and physically move to someplace else, maybe for work or just for your relationship and your relationship to be more successful. That's going to be how it's going to resonate for some of you. Others of you are going to be realizing that you need to leave the past in the past, and some sort of situation that you were in was just not serving you, Scorpio. Second, you lift that block and you allow the transformation, and you let that really allow the manifesting of something positive to come in. Really allowing it will, because then we have this Two of Cups and the Six of Wands. That's where the success comes in. The success comes in after the release of something. Okay, so these are the different ways that it could be impacting you guys, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So now work going into the future. Okay, I mean, I kind of think this is a little interesting. Very heavy emotional energy here, but good stuff. I mean, the world is always good whenever it shows up, because it means the completion of a lesson. And what comes with the completion of that lesson, because it's a Saturn energy, is a huge gift that ends up lasting decades and decades long, right? Because Saturn does get a bad rap. I always say that. It's called the Great Malefic. It's about restriction and structure and no and karma and all of this stuff. But once we go through those Saturnian lessons, we get the world, which is the blessings, because we have really, really worked for it. Now, we have the Seven of Pentacles here. I love this with these other energies, because this is about being able to employ patience and hard work, and understanding that there's delayed success in something, meaning you're going to very much feel that something is going in the right direction, even though it's not going to come into full fruition just yet. Not yet. And I don't want to get too much into the astrology, but I just want to say, like, starting the beginning of November, things start going in a much better direction. But look what we have to go through first. There's going to be a Knight of Swords and a Seven of Swords energy. So the Knight of Swords energy, first of all, is somebody who is coming in with a lot of truth bombs. This could be like, you, let me tell you something, or them saying, like, you know, and the truth coming in, it could be rather aggressive, but the thing is, it incites a lifestyle change. So that could mean going from single to married. You know, I'm sick of this, I want to get married. Or going from married to divorce, going from together to not being together, employed to not being employed. But whatever it is, it's this truth coming out in a very expressive way that incites some sort of lifestyle change. Now we have the Seven of Swords energy working with this. Now, a couple things about this energy, okay? A couple things. First of all, this can indicate betrayal and dishonesty and somebody running away from something. This could even indicate theft, if it has to do, particularly if it has to do with anything related to business, because it's the moon in Aquarius energy, right? And I was talking about everything I said before about the moon. The moon is also what we do in private that we really don't discuss, right? So it's moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is always different than what I'm showing you. So a lot of times this can be indicative of like a mask energy, somebody wearing a mask. So there could be this realization that somebody was wearing a mask, that somebody was, more lip service than anything else, but the truth coming out, the truth being revealed. And this, for some of you, this could be realizing that somebody or a situation was not what it was, you being very patient as, you start to straighten things out and you get the gifts coming in. Okay, so this could be maybe leaving a work situation, being very patient, some sort of new opportunity coming in. This could be leaving a bad relationship, being patient, meeting somebody new. Others of you, there's going to be a calling out of some poor behavior. There's going to be some patient working through, and then you guys can enjoy that world energy together. But it is this idea of this truth, conflict, dishonesty, whatever it is, coming out, being a thing that needs to be looked at. There being patience employed, and then the world energy is the result of it. So it's in the near future as the final outcome energy. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, which can indicate frustrations, problems, problems ahead, delays for some of you. We have the Star reverse. The stars, for some of you could be struggling with some depression. Some of you could be struggling with illness, or somebody is ill here. This could also be having to deal with arrogance, being ignored. Some of you may even be struggling with if you're trying to have a child, trying to create a family. Maybe there's like some infertility or impotence involved here as well. Could be the Star reverse, which can be very frustrating for obvious reasons if you're trying to move something forward. And we have the Three of Swords energy here. And the Three of Swords is very straight up the card of pain, right? That's what it is. It's Saturn and Libra. It does not have to mean a third-party situation. It can, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't. But it's heartbreak. Now, for some of you, this could be divorce. For some of you, it could just be loss of a job, loss of an opportunity. For others of you, it could be depression. For others of you, going back to this idea, I feel like some of you might be having to get surgery. Again, going back to the illness thing. So that could be something that you guys are dealing with, right? Within either a relationship, even a work situation, maybe somebody who you're working with is dealing with that. And then we have the Hierophant energy, and the Hierophant energy is about conventions and expectations and conforming, right? Hierophant is also one of the marriage cards, and it's about celebrating the sacred within your relationship. So Scorpio, I don't know. I feel like some of you might be struggling where you really need to be there for each other. If one of you guys are experiencing some sort of illness or surgery or something like that, that's going to resonate with some of you. Others of you, you may be going through a painful situation at work where your partnership or your marriage is really kind of your rock of Gibraltar and really there for you, right? To help get you through this particular time. For others of you, you're going to be very focused on healing past some sort of frustration, right? There's some sort of depression or sadness about something not going the way that you thought, but then ultimately they're ending up being your ability to conform and you tempering your expectations about something to make something work. So that could have to do with a job, or that could have to do with a relationship. But I like the Hierophant energy is a solid energy, right? It's connected to actually to Taurus. Even though a lot of people are like, oh, why isn't it attached to Sagittarius? And Sagittarius rules our belief systems, and the Hierophant is about traditions. Taurus, though, is a very practical energy, right? And it's very earthy expectations, sticking with the nuts and bolts of something. And that's what that is, right? So it's a very earthy energy. So I do like that. It does seem like there's going to be a lot of frustration, Scorpio. It does seem like something that you're going to set your sights on, that you want to move forward. You're not going to be able to move forward as quickly as you would like. It doesn't mean forever. This is only a week, but it feels like, but you know, I always say too, as a reason for everything, right? I mean, we all know that, right? But with that temptation energy, I feel like from an energetic perspective, there's a reason for this delay, even though you don't want to hear that. Like the delay is happening so that you can look at something a little more closely, or evaluate something a little more intently, or create a change that's necessary to create. That would not be incited if you got exactly what you wanted on the timetable that you wanted it, if that makes sense. So it does seem like there's going to be some sort of benefit to some delay that's going to be going on here. You're going to be getting it because you got the world, and the world illuminates the entire reading. So I'm not concerned for you. It's just it may not happen in the timetable that you would like. So let's pull some love oracles. I'll pull love oracles from the Heart Oracle, from the Island Tongue Wellness, and then I'll do the Dreaming Way Lenormand to get some advice for love. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Yeah, right? I mean, for sure. That's how we learn, right? How we learn. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. Okay. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Definitely positive energy coming in here. I feel like after a lot of work, though, I am being called to say that. So let's see. Butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase. Yeah, healing the inner child, growth. Yeah, kind of got that sense. Clock, need time, takes time, and time cycles. Time to heal, to progress. Yeah, give it time. Give it time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen on your timetable. Just know that. Mask. Not showing true feelings. Hide. Personify. Pretend. Okay. This is a good card to remind you that not every qualifier on any card, any oracle, is absolute. So somebody might not be showing their true feelings because they're scared. They're vulnerable. They're afraid of not being accepted. They're trying to figure out their own feelings. They're trying to work on themselves, doing their own shadow work. Could be that. Masks are not always a bad thing, okay? They're not. And everyone wears one every now and then. It's not always for malicious reasons. But at the same time, it can be a more negative pretending, hiding. Literally like having no intention of coming out. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never did that. You're just so crazy. Everyone says it. Everyone thinks so, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Oh, that never happened. So crazy, right? But it could be that, right? So the mask can really be, there's like most energies, there's a shadow side and there's a illuminated side. But it does seem like, because we get the butterfly, right, we always have to put it in context, and because of these other cards we have here, it does seem that there is this sort of evolution. Now, for some of you, the evolution is going to be healing your inner child, healing yourself from a negative relationship, and just moving forward, taking the time that you need to heal. And you might be getting back out there, not showing how you are still healing from something in your past, because what is the point in doing that, right? You meet somebody new and you're like, yeah, I'm still heartbroken over, my ex, whatever. Yeah, that's that's not going to go very far, right? And obviously you know that. So that could be a mask wearing energy for some of you. But for others of you, I do see your relationship. You just need some time. And it's almost like trust needs to be established, reestablished. Something, is going to be, is requiring that time involved. Yeah. Okay. We have the man. Oh my gosh. This is like, I think you guys are the third sign that got the man first. And I always shuffle between. Beautiful. And we have the sun. This is everybody's looking at the future. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. We got the sun and the stars. Hello. Birds. Good communication coming in. Okay. All right. Listen, we got a lot of positive cards here. We have to call it what it is. You're looking at the future. We got the sun here. The sun is about happiness, material happiness, the happiness being like in the 3D, because there's something that's preordained, something that's very destined that's going on in your life right now, Scorpio. There's no question. Some message is going to be coming in. Somebody's going to be calling you, some sort of information. Somebody's going to be reaching out to you to show appreciation, that they value you, that they like you. Somebody's going to be pursuing you. There's destiny here. This is a destiny-driven energy. There's no question. Very focused on the future, focused on happiness and abundance. Something is preordained. A message comes in that allows that to happen. So that is what I have for you guys. Yeah. It looks like a rocky road getting there, but, okay. That is what I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.